What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. a future class of gaming, a.k.a. the OK Beast. Blessing, Adeoye Jr.
Whatever happened to sitting on very opposite sides of the table? That way we wouldn't have to turn like
We
this
said
anymore.
we were going to do it for that next Friday stream, but then we tried it out, remember? But then we had to come back for the handshake, and it seemed like we kind of killed the bit.
That's
You
fair.
know what I mean?
That's fair.
You know, Barrett hates it. He hates letting us.
No, that's what he does. He really loves it deep down, but he wants us to think that he hates it so that it feels like he has some level of input in this whole thing.
Sure.
But really, he doesn't.
Huh.
Think about
Turn
it.
the whole thing on its head there. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. You got me. You got me thinking on that one. I appreciate that quite a bit. Doing the Wendy's coffee today, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing the Wendy's coffee a lot.
I know you have been.
I mean, that's mainly because I've been doing the Wendy's breakfast a lot.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting better. Every
Do you
time I have
worry
it.
about your metabolism slowing down?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Because there was when we talked about this last time when we had some conversation about Wendy's, somebody in the chat was like, "How do they eat like this and not?" And looks and we were like, oh, I grabbed my gut and I was like, "Oh, they weren't talking about me. They were talking about you.
Yeah,
you
I
eat
mean-
Wendy's like every other day. But you still look.
I know, and I'm trying to stop it. I'm trying to quit. It's like a drug. It's the chicken biscuit with the honey thing they got going on there.
Yeah.
It's magnificent.
Yeah.
It is absolutely excellent. I'm trying to
Chicken's always
stop.
good.
I have been blessed with a pretty good metabolism. I do think though that as I get closer to 30, that it
Yeah.
is slowing down.
It'll hit you like a truck, bless.
It is hitting me like a truck because like when I was hanging out in Seattle a few weeks ago, I've only recently bought a scale at home. When I say recently, in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
because when I went to my sister's house in the bathroom, they had a scale and I was curious. I was
Like,
like,
this can't be right.
yeah, and I stepped on it and I was like, no way, absolutely no
What
way.
are you
do I
clocking
weigh
in
this
at?
much.
What were you clocking in at?
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Don't worry about
okay,
it.
okay.
But it was like maybe 20 more pounds than
Wow.
previously. And like honestly, the last time I stepped on a scale was probably multiple years ago. And so
Sure.
it's not crazy, but also
Yeah, it's natural.
it was like, oh shit. Damn, okay, this is actually like I might need to pay more attention to how I treat my body.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because that actually led into me hitting up Roger because Roger's been going to the gym every
course, looks
morning with Mike, and me being like, yo, I got to get with y'all for that. And then also hitting up Mike because Mike was talking about getting to a softball league. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, I want to do that because I need some kind of physical activity that I can do consistently. And so hit him up for that. And our first game was yesterday.
Yeah.
Greg.
How'd it go? What did you hit? What was your batting average?
Don't worry about it. But no, it was really fun. I had a really good time.
Oh, you ended up going.
Oh yeah, no, I
'Cause
went.
last I heard, he came over to ask you about it, and you said no.
No, when was that?
I don't know.
You might be thinking of Roger or somebody.
Maybe I was thinking Roger.
Yeah.
Roger didn't go?
Roger went, but he went to cheer. He wasn't actually in the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I went. I played. It was a fantastic time.
What'd
I
you-
had such a good time playing
Yeah?
softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike put in a weird image in a weird TikTok, but then he went in the bay. Somebody, Barrett, go yell at Mike. Is he coming out to show this? What are we doing? Like, I don't understand. Now we're talking about it. Now it's a natural fit. Is Snowbike Mike going to come out and give us the All Sorts of Sports report on what happened at softball?
I do want to hear Mike's report because my report of it, like I said, I had a fantastic
I'll
time.
take your unbiased opinion.
I
of it,
don't.
Yeah.
Mike did not have a great time at softball. It was actually the reverse of how I thought this would go. Because
You thought you'd be the one not
I
having
thought
fun,
I'd
and
be the
Mike
one to
would
be like,
one.
this is bullshit. Because I'd never played softball before. I
Sure.
was looking forward to it, but at the same time, I was apprehensive.
Mike, you didn't have a good time playing softball last night, doggy dog?
A fantastic time playing softball.
Mike did not have a great time. So it came.
Let's talk about it.
So as the game went, right, the game started. I immediately was having fun because it was way more laid back than I thought it was. We signed up for a professional, or organized, I should say, actually, organized recreational
I
sports.
brought White
league.
Claws and Capri Suns.
Mike came
Team
through
Dad
with the
looking
right
good.
energy. We're already making friends with people as soon as we got there. Everybody was super friendly.
Dapping.
And we're up to bat first. And I think
Yeah.
we got some good hits in.
Oh, is she going to miss out on the story? Yeah, we got some good. I mean, let's start about what happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's talk about what happened right off the rip.
So
No, talk about the goods first. Talk about the
That's what I'm
goods.
saying. When we were up to bat, the bat was great.
Yeah,
the bat
yeah, yeah.
was
No,
awesome.
See, I wasn't walking off because I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I want to participate. But Mike came out so excited and fired up. Sit down. Said he didn't have a microphone.
Yeah, he's gonna need to sit down.
I can't sit. I cannot.
You need to sit down.
I can't sit.
You walked up and I
He can't sit. He,
Okay,
he legitimately can't sit.
Straight mics. Okay.
It's either
So-
upright or laid down. That's all I got.
Okay. Okay, so I immediately, it's a rec softball league, obviously.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those, like it's listed for a good time kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a
And
good
so
time,
then
it's a good
you
time.
show up with White Claws and Capri Suns.
Fuck yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
tossing them out to the opposing team, your team?
The opposing team a little cold to me.
Okay.
A little cold.
Yeah.
So let me set
The opposing
stage.
team looked like they're filled with people who take this shit seriously.
I showed up at 6 o'clock. That's
Yeah.
30 minutes before game time, thinking, you know what? We'll get some BP in. We'll throw a couple of balls. Let's get people warmed up. I show up. The other team is 7 deep. They're already doing BP. I show up. There's not a single person on the team. So I go, hey, what up, everybody? I'm Mike. What team are y'all on? We're on the other team. Cool. Y'all mind if I hang out with y'all? Yeah, sure. So they're already giving me the cold shoulder.
Lame.
My team doesn't show up until 6:20. One girl shows up.
What time's first pitch?
6:30.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
We're already way behind the 8 ball.
I love it.
5 people show up. It's me, Bless, this girl, and 2 other dudes. It is now 6:30 in the ump's going, let's play some ball. We got 5 people, dude. What do you want us to do, you know? And so he goes, okay, you guys can bat first. First kid goes up, gets a nice little double. Bear, bring up the video. Bring up the video.
Bad video, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
have video
this you at
evidence
bat?
of what happened.
Is this you at bat? The video?
Yeah, this is me at bat.
Are you second at bat?
I'm second at bat.
Wow.
You know, just want to set the tone. Look at this stocky
I
man.
hope you just get taken right in the head.
Absolute heater.
Heater. Sending it oppo.
Heater. Mike was killing it.
Look at you run. Is this where the legs start going?
That's all we're gonna
Slide?
say. That's an inside the park
Yeah.
home run.
It was a home
hit.
run off the bat. Off the bat.
Now, Blessing, of course, the team bats. We go out to the field.
Yeah.
It's me and
So,
Blessing's first time out in the field.
It was our first time out in the field. We were both playing far outfield.
Yeah.
And
Barrett, do this man a favor and just go to the gym. Killing him bending over. Just jib it, Barrett. Just jib the entire shot.
Blessing because he's like, I don't know how to play. They're like, Blessing, you got to stand here, take
Yeah.
your first step back always. Right?
And
I'm yelling at Blessing, you're going to do great, Bless. You're over there.
I appreciate all the feedback because my thing was, okay, I have Mike with me, and so Mike's going to help coach me through this because I trust Mike
I'm gonna
to
coach him.
understand the rules to softball
Yeah.
and how you
Yeah.
should play. So I'm far outfield. I'm learning all about like, okay, if they're left-handed, you got to move this way. If they're right-handed, you got to move this way. Start calling out, oh, this guy, he's about to hit like a fucking deep ball. Got to go back, whatever. I'm enjoying that aspect of it, and I have Mike right there with me to see me through it. And so both of us are playing outfield. Mike's like a little bit further to the right of me, maybe further back.
I'm
still.
center left, he's center right.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
First pitch of our team throws the I was gonna say the enemy of these video games. The opponent team, they hit
Yes,
a
one,
heater.
Greggy.
Heater goes way over our heads. Mike takes off after it, and we're going. I look back to see where the opposite team is at in bases. I look back and Mike is on the ground. Mike is just laid out on the ground.
This was me for the rest of the first inning.
What
I
happened?
looked like this for a solid
Just
10
tired?
minutes. No, I pulled my hammy. I proceeded to do a nice big old roll. Pulled the hammy, and the kid, ball rolls past me. I run, pull the hammy.
Yeah, I just see him on the ground, and then the other person on our team run past Mike to get the ball to finish the play.
Kid goes, you need help up? I go, no, leave me here. Leave me here.
And so for,
Girls
like,
pitching, "You
This
need
is
help?"
some bad
I said,
news
"Leave me."
bears shit. Like,
like-
5 people are down, Mike's down. It's like you guys you get out. Home run just started. All right, cool. You guys get out. It's 1-0. The other team gets up and they never come down. They
Never-
just
oh, yeah,
never
that's
come
how
down.
it
For like
down.
4 consecutive plays after that, I'm looking over because I'm the closest one to Mike, and I'm probably about 20 feet away, and I'm like, "Hey, Mike, you good?" Mike's like, "Oh yeah." Are you injured? It's like, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, do I need to call an ambulance? It just thumbs up. No, I'm good. I'm all right. All right. 5 plays later, this man is still on the ground.
Yeah.
This man was on the ground
We
for like
finished
20
the
minutes.
inning, I slowly walk to the other side. Never came back out on the field. But
Yeah.
I hit.
That was the last I saw Mike. And so for the rest of the game, I had to cover outfield for 2 people. I had to cover 2 people's worth of outfield. And I was running back and forth. And when I tell you that by the end of the game, I was about to collapse from running.
What was the final score?
20-8.
Okay.
We
This
had
team
it.
slapped us.
Yeah, we got
There
destroyed.
is a major issue in our softball league. There's no outfield fence.
Okay.
So if you can imagine it, poor Blessing over here, if they hit it over Blessing's head, it now
Keep
rolls
going, keep
800
going,
feet
keep
the other
going.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor Blessing is in the other infield of the other diamond right now. It was a great first week.
It was a great first week. It was fun.
Wait,
You going
so
back?
Is there
Oh,
no
yeah.
length to determine, like, okay, if it goes this far, it's just a home run?
No,
we're
the ump
calling
didn't
it?
really care about anything.
What? That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't like how the
Don't
ump
do
did
that
it.
to your players.
I collapsed when I got home, dude.
How the hamstring feeling today?
Oh, it hurts a lot, Greg. It's
Yeah.
the first time I've ever pulled a hamstring.
Yeah.
The lion might not be the lion anymore.
Walk it off, man. You know?
I've been informed that a heater
I
is
would've-
actually a good pitch.
I would have done one. I would have done one inning and seen the other team was really trying, and I would be
Yeah.
like, all right, peace. Like, I'm not doing this.
No, you
Like,
can't
I'm not-
leave. You
I'm
can't
not
leave your
doing
team
this.
behind.
All four of you? I think I could. And I wouldn't think about it again.
It was a fun time.
It sounds like a great event.
It
Just like the Armored Core 6
Whoa.
preview event was. We have a roundup on all those and Blessing's crazy stories. Immortals Fenyx Rising sequel reportedly has been canceled and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show over at kindafunny.com/KFGD. At kindafunny.com/KFGD, you can write in with your questions, comments, concerns, and squad up requests to be part of that day's show. Then you can tune in to twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames and youtube.com/KindaFunnyGames to watch us record it live. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to KindaFunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/KindaFunnyGames and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Of course, those are all fine ways to watch us. But why not go to patreon.com/KindaFunny? Over on patreon.com/KindaFunny, you can get each and every episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily ad-free. Of course, you could get the ability to watch us record our other podcasts live and ad-free, just like the Kinda Funny podcast this afternoon. You'd get it a whole day before it goes live on any other service. Of course, if you're not watching live, it's no big deal. On patreon.com/KindaFunny, you can go there to get the video and the MP3 on demand without any ads and have a good time. You'd also get dozens and dozens and hundreds. That's right, over 300 exclusive pieces of content since we launched the Spare Bedroom in October are all up on patreon.com/KindaFunny right now. And of course, you could get exclusive monthly merch. But I digress. Maybe you don't want to go there. Maybe you don't have the bucks for patreon.com/KindaFunny. No big deal. Use the Epic creator code KindaFunny when you're checking out the Epic Game Store or when you're buying something in Fortnite, Rocket League, or whatever else uses the Epic Game Store on the console of your choice. Housekeeping for you. A new Kinda Funny Gamescast is up right now, and it's our Armored Core 6 preview. You can get it, of course, on podcast services around the globe and youtube.com/KindaFunnyGames. We're gonna do the roundup for what everybody else has been saying in the industry, but this is Blessing's uncut take on it after playing 4 hours of it and going up in a helicopter.
I didn't talk about the helicopter part.
We'll talk about
on
that soon
show.
enough here. Don't worry about that. On top of that, Barbie in review is up on youtube.com/KindaFunny. And of course, screencast podcast feeds, or in review podcast feeds, I guess technically, since it's Barbie in review. More than anything, look at this intro. Like, watch this intro.
This is incredible.
Which is incredible enough that, of course, they went and made one like this where it's just, the Barbie thing. But then this move that Kevin set up and was so proud of himself to get because he fucking crushed it.
That was so fire.
Great job. Great job. If you're an audio listener, please go click on Barbie in review on youtube.com/KindaFunny. Just watch the opening 50 seconds or whatever we just went through. You'll enjoy yourself quite a bit there. On top of that, a new Kinda Feudy poll is up, and you can find it on Patreon or Blessing's Twitter, and then parentheses X account.
And what do we call it? Do we still call it Twitter? Are we doing
Yeah,
that
we
until...
are, because like now where you're looking at the fucking thing, and all this changed is one X in the top left corner. It still says tweet at the top of the page. It still says search Twitter on the other section of the page.
I don't know,
Fucking
man.
goddamn jokes.
It does say search Twitter.
I'll
That's
tell you,
really
like-
funny,
like,
actually.
As soon as Threads gets a fucking desktop client up and running,
Oh, dude, it's over.
come on, man.
Or
Come
just
on.
like a feed where it's just people I follow. That'd be
See,
nice.
even that, that's not my number one priority. My number one priority, because like right now, when I'm on Threads, I feel like for the most part, I'm getting circulated stuff from people I'm first off follow or don't follow but should, or somebody chiming in on something I don't follow yet, but what I mean? Like,
What I
it's not-
realize is that the algorithm works exactly like Instagram's algorithm, where the people you follow show up first, but as soon as you refresh a few times,
don't
it's all
get
gone.
that.
Vest
I just
Vest
get
says the
random
following
influencers.
feed is out now. Says Vest.
Oh shit.
Oh, let me update that.
Oh.
Holy cow.
We're
Oh.
open up to- But yeah, for me, it's definitely
Breaking
getting
news.
Damn.
Threads.net up and running quicker,
Crazy.
so I can.
Oh,
get
damn, I still have Hive on here. I forgot about that. Oh, Blue Sky.
Shout out to
Blue
Hive.
Sky. I deleted. I was like, I'm done. I saved.
You're not doing Blue Sky?
No, I gotta make a choice.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
Am I? I don't
The
think
skies
so.
are so
you're
blue.
not.
Is anybody missing anything? Everybody follow me on
This
Threads.
guy was fun for.
I'm going to open up Hive, see when the last post was.
Over on Patreon, there's a new Greg Way, and it's a preview of DC Heroes and Villains Match 3 RPG mobile puzzle game. Thank you for putting that in there for me.
I got you.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
2 weeks ago was the last post on Hive. On my followers.
Hive. We tried, everybody. Of course, yeah. Greg Way goes up each and every day, and there's a great one up there. 20-minute preview of DC Heroes and Villains, which I'm enjoying quite a bit on my mobile phone. Thank you to our Patreon producer, Delaney Twining. Today, we're brought to you by Honey, BetterHelp, and Shady Rays, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
We begin with story number 1. There is an Armored Core 6 preview roundup happening right now. We go to Game Rant, where Anthony Tormina writes, as a total newcomer to the Armored Core franchise, it was unclear how much of an affinity for From Software's other games would translate to Fires of Rubicon. Outside understanding that From Software makes games that are hard, where timing is key, there wasn't a lot that felt quote-unquote the same. That being said, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon has so many elements that make it just as deep and compelling as any of the Souls games. The diversity of builds is going to give the game longevity. The boss fights are epic showdowns that will test gamers' reflexes, parentheses, and sanity. And there are hints towards lore that seem interesting. But really, it's the moment-to-moment gameplay that helps all of the other elements of a From Software. Okay, I see what he's trying to do here. But really, it's the moment-to-moment gameplay that helps all other elements of a From Software game sing. And Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is just a blast to play. Jez Corden over at Windows Central writes, Armored Core 6 does not have Elden Ring's sprawling open world or Dark Souls' intricate interconnected map. Instead, Armored Core 6 uses a mission-based structure, pitting players in bespoke arenas and levels that push the story forward. You're not overly punished for failing or dying. There are no souls to track and recover. Its levels even come with checkpoints now. Similar to other games in the franchise, difficulty in Armored Core 6 revolves around figuring out the right tools for the job, the correct strategies for the battle, and the weaknesses of your opponents. It does bring across some inspiration from titles like Sekiro and Elden Ring that injects a sense of modernity into proceedings, but it does so in a way that doesn't trample on the franchise's legacy. As an augmented human merc handled by the mysterious broker Walter, you're pretty much thrown headfirst into the deep end of a brewing conflict over the potent new resource. Various factions are battling over the coral, and while some welcome your arrival, many more absolutely do not. Even in our relatively brief demo, 4 hours, the variety of threats was awe-inspiring. Absolutely gigantic, town-sized AT-AT-inspired walkers, massive tanks covered in missile launchers, mecha of all shapes and sizes. And then, as we said, it's up, of course, as a Kinda Funny Gamescast. Blessing, you posted the following TikTok at Kinda Funny Games. Let's watch it, Barrett.
Hold on, I lost it.
I said now, Silent Bob!
Armored Core 6 event, and it was insane. It took place in a hangar in Southern California where the From Software team gave us a presentation and let us get our hands on the game for over 4 hours. I'm obsessed with it. The combat is fun as hell. This might not be Souls-like, but it definitely has that From Software touch when it comes to enemies and bosses. I'm an Armored Core newcomer, but the controls were intuitive, the gameplay was fast and frenetic, and the customization options are deep. This demo turned me into a believer. I need this new Armored Core game ASAP. Playing the game was just the beginning though. Next up, they took me on a helicopter ride over Anaheim. To close out the event, we got to experience a real-life mech destroy a car. We also got turns piloting the mech, but I missed my turn because I was too busy playing Armored Core. I got so hooked piloting a virtual mech that I missed out on piloting a real one. Check out our YouTube for more Armored Core 6 talk. For now, let me tell you that Bandai Namco flew me out to an Armored Core 6
there
event,
it is.
and it
Crushed
was
it.
insane.
One thing to shout out too, the time to play the demo probably fluctuates for a lot of people between 3 to 4 hours. I was replaying a lot of missions just because I wanted to keep on with the gameplay. If I got off earlier and signed up to do the mech thing, I probably would have played a little bit less. But
You
that's
made the right call. You made the right call. Don't worry about it. A mech tipped over a car. You saw it.
Exactly.
It's good.
I saw it. I got to experience that. And from what I saw for like the piloting the mech thing, I think for the most part, people got to walk forward a few steps and walk backward a few steps. Not everybody got to destroy a car. I think that was just the mech expert that got to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, do we learn nothing from the submersible? All right, there's some technology we shouldn't be trying.
And honestly, that's what kept coming to my mind of both the helicopter ride and the mech ride, where I was like, I don't know if I want to get into like this vehicle. I know helicopters are safe for the most part, but also we've heard about helicopter crashes and stuff in the last few years that like had me scared of the idea of that happening. And so I was a bit apprehensive. But I did get into the helicopter regardless because I was like, I got to be able to say that I flew a helicopter.
First off, I told you as soon as I walked in the door today, great job on the TikTok. You had mentioned in a meeting with me you were going to do it. I was like, yeah, and we've had a conversation of like, when the preview event is cool, right? When it's different, do something with it. Because a lot of times preview events are like, oh, hey, welcome to the hotel room. Yeah. Sit down and play. It's not like, PR company X invited me and they had coffee and this computer. Yeah. And I played it. You know what I mean? Like, this was obviously an over-the-top one. And I think, again, it's something I've talked about a lot on Kinda Funny and IGN even for that matter throughout the years of how at IGN, all we wanted was just fucking bring the preview to us and let us play the game because we're writing about it, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe we're going to do a video preview, but yada, yada, yada. And then like now in the age of influencers and YouTube and TikTok and everything else, it's kind of like, oh, the shit people were forcing me to do in 2007 really was ahead of its time for this kind of event, right? In terms of what you're doing with it.
Yeah. And that was the thing that shocked me about this event. I would say this preview event is what was the most over the top and wild preview event that I've ever been to. I'm sure you've been to plenty.
Sure.
But yeah, like ever since I joined Kinda Funny, they've not been like this. Like the one I would put maybe right behind this would be the Persona 5 Royal preview event that we went to February, I want to say, after I got hired. So like a couple of months in.
Like a party, right?
And it was, we played the game in a room that looked like a remodeled classroom, like a classroom from Persona. Yeah. And then, after that, we went right next door to a mixer and hung out.
There's definitely a resurgence of this kind of event, I feel, right now, because I think so many people have been cooped up for COVID, where it's got to be like, we have budgets and let's go crazy and let's do something nuts and blah, 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 blah.
Well, especially from Software, where they put out Elden Ring last year, and they got so much money to work with, and now they're putting out Armored Core 6, which is a game or a franchise that's way more lower key than what they've done with all their Souls stuff. Yeah, it feels like this is them really wanting to push that and really wanting to give it the marketing it needs to be able to shine on that mainstream level. For sure. So I understand what they're doing with it there for sure.
Well, you figure a preview event that you do something cool that can get you so much more juice. And to your point, and I think what's interesting about reading through, or sitting with you on the panel yesterday for Gamescast, and again, you did a great preview. Everybody should go listen to. That got me excited to play it. But even going through and reading, Jez and Anthony's articles here, right, or snippets of it, there is such a this is my first time with an Armored Core, or let's directly compare this to Dark Souls and Elden Ring, right? Because now people know who From Software is, but it's possible they didn't read Greg's IGN.com review of Armored Core 4. That they didn't, they haven't been with the franchise, so you don't know what this is. So this is going to be so many people's, well, I like this developer. Why not try this thing?
I mean, I would say that for most people. I would think most people that get their hands on Armored Core 6 probably haven't played an Armored Core before, which is why for this preview I wasn't as nervous as I would be for if Armored Core was the biggest thing on the planet and I'm getting in on a sequel and I'm like, now I had to preview
this thing. Meant to be the entry for so many people.
Exactly. Like this is a game that is going to speak to a large amount of people, and I think that's where you're seeing so many previews be like, hey, I am new to this and this is my experience after loving From Software games, but coming into an Armored Core for the first time. And also, those previews are out there for you too. If you're somebody who is seasoned in Armored Core, I saw like the Armored Core Legacy guys, which is an Armored Core specific website there. I'm sure they'll have all the nitty gritty details you want as an Armored Core fan. But for me, and it seems like for the majority of people that got their hands during this preview time, what I'm seeing is mostly excitement and mostly people being impressed by what they had to show. And so much of that comes to what I talked about during Gamescast, which is how intuitive the game is to play and how as soon as I got through the first couple of missions, I already had a pretty good idea of how to play the game. And then I get to the first boss fight and I'm like, okay, all right, I see what's going on here. And then I get to that major boss fight, the wall climber one, and that skill check moment that makes me really, really, really understand, go into assembly, figure out my different parts, figure out what weapons to use, change up my different parts for my mech, go back in and see if this stuff works. And that's what the gameplay loop is. And I think from what I played, at least so far, that gameplay loop really works.
Yeah, it sounds like it does. It seems like it's going to be awesome. And at least, like, for me, it's referenced here in Jez's thing, right? But what you showed in the Gamescast and what you talked about was that starting off, it's this like sandstorm environment you're going, you see this shadowy mech in the distance, and you
Yeah.
start going, and as you get closer, that's what he's talking about with the AT-AT inspired thing, right? You get there, and oh my god, like it's humongous, and it's this, and like that's them playing with that scale and that scope. I think getting in there and having those. All right, I failed at this mission. What if I tried machine guns rather than lasers? What if I did this sword instead of that gun? Like that kind of stuff sounds super fun.
And I'd also recommend people check out the IGN preview as well. They have theirs up as a video, but it's Mitchell Saltzman, and Mitchell shouts out the same mission, and it's really cool seeing the things that I took away versus other people, because Mitchell wasn't in my preview session. I think he went another day, and watching his preview and seeing him point out similar things and take to similar things, and him point out that mission specifically and be like, dude, I couldn't wait to talk about this part, like this mission in particular, where I'm going through and I see this thing in the distance and I get to it and it's huge, and you take out different parts systemically. And of course I love that because it's so Shadow of the Colossus, and I love that kind of thing. That thing is always very impressive to me. But to see other people be like, no, yeah, that's the part that spoke to me too, let alone a lot of the other big moments in the demo. The game feels constructed in a very smart way in terms of delivering those moments that are going to stick with people. And From Software is a studio that knows how to deliver those moments. When you talk to Souls fans, or you talk to Bloodborne or Sekiro fans or Elden Ring fans, there are moments in those games that people latch onto. One of the first things I believe probably in our Elden Ring review with me, Tame, Andy that we talked about is that moment where you get past the first big major boss and you step out and you see this vista of the lands between, and you're like, whoa, oh my god, I get to explore this wide world. I can't believe this is it. Or you get to, me and Andy were talking about just during the Gamescast, Genichiro, and that boss fight in Sekiro. You hear people talk about Father Gascoigne in that moment, like these Lady Maria in the Bloodborne DLC, these moments that From Software set up as the set piece. You are going to remember this because either this boss is going to kill you a billion times, so you have to remember it, or because we're doing something really cool here with the story and the presentation and all that. Already, I'm getting some of that out of Armored Core, and I can't wait to see it come out and get into more people's hands and see how deeply that resonates, because from what I played, I think it's going to be a great game. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy themselves. I think now the question is it going to resonate on that level? And from my interview with Yamamura, the lead designer of the game, I mentioned this on Gamescast too, that he wanted this game to be the start of a new mech action game revolution. And he said it with like sort of a joking tone, but I think he's somewhat semi-serious in there, because this is a left turn from Software. I know Armored Core is deep in the From Software lore, but this is the first time they're doing it in over a decade. And so
as the new From Software.
Yeah.
As the From Software who's established, where people know From Software. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Like this is the first very non-Souls-like type game. I know people would throw Sekiro in there, but even Sekiro has a lot of Souls-like elements. This is a mech action game that is very far from that. And when he said that, for me, in my brain, it clicked as, oh, they want this to be Demon Souls. They want this to be the first stepping stone toward hopefully opening up this whole entire pillar, where now by the time we get to Armored Core 7, 8, 9, they're getting bigger and bigger and better and better.
So I would like to expand this question, because I wanted to take it into preview events, and it still is there, but it's gonna, instead, I want your take on several things here. You can look at, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can toss in Diablo 4. I think you can toss in Final Fantasy 16. I would say I think you can toss in Baldur's Gate 3, right? Taking out the Zelda portion of it, I was originally going to reference what a crazy year it is for video games, of course, but for franchises who are really trying to have that coming out party, who are trying to say, we've had that hardcore fan base, but now we're ready for a more mainstream take. When you look at something like Diablo, when you look at something like Final Fantasy 16, which is just, basically an action adventure game, right? When you look at something like Baldur's Gate 3, which I was going to toss out for another crazy preview event of like, yeah, we'll fly everybody to Belgium, and like the guys we're going to do this giant hell stream, and they're going to fuck a bear, and I'm going to dress in armor, and it's going to be this like crazy thing that got outside of just the Baldur's Gate audience, right? Moving away from the preview portion of it and bringing Zelda back into it of like, yo, Zelda was obvious. It still is, but we're talking about launch, right? Was stories from people of like, oh yeah, they were. I talked about Jerica from JK Games seeing somebody at a bus stop playing it, striking up a conversation, and him being like, oh yeah, no, I bought it for this. This is all I own. I saw people tweeting about it and putting up videos, and I thought it looked cool, right? Like that's a movement. That broke through a lot of walls. Armored Core 6 here. I think is going to be this Armored Core game that gets into the hands of a whole bunch of different people and gets as mainstream as any Armored Core has ever been. Do you think that it will satiate or resonate with the mainstream audience? And not even like to the Zelda level, but a new audience for it. Because I think looking at Zelda, looking at Diablo, even looking at Baldur's Gate, and even looking at the other one I tossed in that I'm searching for that I forgot, Final Fantasy, you saw those, you did previews for those, and we were all like, oh man, this is going to hit. This is going to be a big deal for people. Is Armored Core too stilted? And I mean that in a good way of like, it is mission based. You know, make your mech, go fight the thing, come back, and you're doing the thing. Like, is that too, this is too steak and not enough sizzle?
I think it's on the fence right now.
Okay.
I think it could lean toward that mainstream audience, and I say that because one of the things that they mentioned in the interview was that they want this to be an Armored Core game that shows a wider audience why Armored Core is awesome.
Yeah.
And in playing it, I mean, it's a third-person shooter, right? Like that's what it is at its core. But
I see what you did there.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's a mech game, right? And so it's heavier, it controls differently, it has all these things. But when you have the sticks in your hand, you press L3 to boost forward, right? Like you're doing a sprint in a shooter. You press square to dash. You press all the shoulder buttons to shoot your different weapons. There's a level of, oh, this translates because I've played this kind of game before that this Armored Core has, that I would venture to assume, and KindaFunny.com says you're wrong if I'm way off about this, I would assume that previous Armored Core games haven't been this approachable, like this, you know, translatable to, hey, you play video games? If I give you this controller, you'll be able to play Armored Core and understand what it is, right? Without even doing the tutorial. It might take you some finicking around with some things, but you'll understand what this game is by a few missions in. This Armored Core has that, and so I think on that level is going to translate to more people, and I think naturally, because it's From Software, and From Software is now the biggest thing in the world, more people are going to be open to it and anticipating it just because of the name From Software, and so I think they have a bigger shot at that. I think yes. I think it will translate on a mainstream level. I think the stiltedness that you're talking about is going to be the thing that works against it, right? Yeah. Like it being hop in, hop out. Like, all right, go into the garage, do this thing. All right, hop in the next mission. I think those are going to be the things that maybe stilt that penetration in the audience. But I also think that the audience for gaming has become so big, and people are willing to grapple with those more hardcore elements now that I don't think it'll be as big of a problem as maybe it could have been in the past. I think people will be more willing to get into an Armored Core now because people are just willing to put in some of the extra work to get into video games that are more niche or more unique now.
Okay. Be interesting to see. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to do extremely well. I think it's going to score extremely well. I think it's going to be all these different things, but I do wonder if this is going to be the one that gets to more people, but I don't want to say it because it sounds way more negative than I mean it. I think it's going to disappoint more people than the other ones we talked about have or will, if that makes sense. Where I think people are going to jump into this one and think it's a really cool mech game, and it is, but then there is this, customization, wait, this, that, I just want to go beat shit up or whatever. But maybe I'm underselling. I'm probably thinking too big about it, what the audience would be. I think people who are knowing of From Software and excited about that would not.
But I also think the parts where they're not compromising are also what makes the game great. You know, because when you look at a Final Fantasy 16, and this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way. Final Fantasy 16 in the combat system is just Devil May Cry. Like it is, hey, you have your long range attack, you have your close range attack, you're hacking and slashing, and it is so, hey, this is a pure action game made for the most common denominator. And that's okay because Final Fantasy switches things up with every entry. That Final Fantasy doesn't really have this strict, this is what you need to be Final Fantasy. Sure. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 wants to be that. That's dope. I had so much fun with it, right? I'm sure Final Fantasy 17 is going to be something different. But Final Fantasy 16 feels ultra polished and almost like focus tested to be this, all right, let's get this bigger audience in because we're going for Game of Thrones. We're going for action. We're going for these things. Armored Core 6 isn't compromising in any way. It is Armored Core, but it is Armored Core with the learnings of From Software in the last decade. And so it is then going, all right, what is more intuitive for combat? What makes a boss fight fun? What are the elements of From Software that works today that we can put into this thing? And I think that does translate. I don't think that means that, not everybody's going to be into Armored Core 6.
Of course.
But the people that are going to be into Armored Core 6, which I think is going to be a lot of people, are going to be really into it. And I think that's the thing that probably matters the most to them.
Okay. We will wait and see. Armored Core is pretty much here almost. You know what I mean?
Almost. Yeah.
We're on top of us.
Yeah. Almost like less than a month away, I believe.
Outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, people who are into Armored Core are really into Armored Core, just like the people who are into Kinda Funny are really into Kinda Funny. If you appreciate what we do here, it would mean the world to us if you went to patreon.com/kindafunny and tossed us a few bucks to keep the lights and mics on. Of course, you'd get each and every episode of Games Daily ad-free. You'd get all the other podcasts ad-free, and you could watch them live as we record them like the Kinda Funny podcast this afternoon. You could get hundreds of exclusive episodes of content, and it's all only on patreon.com/kindafunny. But guess what, Jack? You're not on patreon.com/kindafunny, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by PayPal Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Did you know it only takes a few seconds to get it? That means if you go to add it to your laptop or iPhone right now, you could be done before this ad read is even over. And you know what else works fast? Honey's deal finding abilities. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. When you check out, the Honey button appears. All you have to do is click apply coupons. You wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that. And then if it finds a working coupon, you will find the prices drop. We've saved thousands of dollars thanks to Honey, buying costumes, props, tech over the years. Honestly, not using Honey is just silly. Honey doesn't just work on desktop, it works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and you get to save on the go. Getting Honey seriously only takes a few seconds, and by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. You can get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/kindafunny. That's joinhoney.com/kindafunny. This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, just like Mike likes them. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. And every purchase supports the Shady Rays Impact Program, which works directly with nonprofits and their communities to empower and make adventure accessible for all walks of life, from childhood cancer patients to young adults with serious health conditions. Exclusively for y'all listening right now, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code KindaFunny for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Again, that's shadyrays.com. Use code KindaFunny. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We all know life can be hard. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. I know from experience how often it just seems easier to care about others and keep it moving. But when we spend all of our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin and burned out. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. For more balance with BetterHelp, visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
Number 2 on the Roper Report. Sources say Ubisoft has canceled its Immortals Fenyx Rising sequel. My stock! Andy Robinson of VGC reports Ubisoft has canceled plans for a sequel to 2020's mythological open-world adventure game Immortals Fenyx Rising. That's according to multiple development sources who told VGC anonymously that a follow-up game was in early development at Ubisoft Quebec. But company leadership ultimately decided to cancel it earlier this month due to the perceived challenges around establishing the IP. The original Immortals was also developed by Assassin's Creed Odyssey Studio, Ubisoft Quebec, received generally favorable reviews. Ubisoft's intention was to grow Immortals into a franchise, with journalist Jeff Grubb from GiantBomb.com reporting last year that it was intended to explore different mythologies other than Greece with future games such as Hawaiian Polynesian myths. The original game saw players controlling a forgotten hero on a quest to save the Greek gods. Later, the game's DLC explored Chinese mythology by having players take control of a new hero, martial artist Ku. Sources told VGC future plans for Immortals were cast into doubt after the company decided to pivot towards its most prominent brands. In January, Ubisoft said it had canceled 3 unannounced games, parentheses, not including the Immortal sequel, end parentheses, and was planning to straighten its focus on the biggest IPs and strengthen, I should say, its focus on the biggest IPs and live services following weaker than expected software sales over the holiday season. VGC understands Immortals Fenyx Rising did find a modest audience, but a lot of it came via discounting. And to put it into context, its sales in Europe were around 70% lower than what Assassin's Creed Valhalla managed to achieve over a similar time frame. Blessing, did you play Immortals?
I played some Immortals.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make people mad. I did not like Immortals, and I on one hand don't care about this, right? Like on one hand, cool, I didn't want Immortals 2. The world's gonna be fine without Immortals 2.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when I read the part in the story where it says, sources told VGC that future plans for Immortals were casting it out after the company decided to pivot towards its most prominent brands, that's the part where I do think is a bummer, and that's the part that comes down to what we've been talking about with Ubisoft, and we talk about in general with big corporations and how they make money and how they got to stay afloat and all this stuff, is, man, Immortals was a big new IP that they poured a lot of time and budget into, and I think at the very least that's a cool thing. And even though Immortals wasn't for me, there are plenty of people in chat that were
Kevin
sad
loved
by
it.
this.
Kevin loved it.
Yeah, Kevin loved it. Apparently, Kebabs loved it. Like a lot of people really like. I mean, yeah. Can you trust Kebabs?
I was gonna say we are Ratchet Clank.
But then there's some people out there who are trying to convince themselves it was a better game than Breath of the Wild.
And we call those people,
come on, guys,
idiots.
By mule. You know what I mean? How much Ubisoft stock do you have for the person saying that?
And that's my thing. That's my beef with Immortals, is that Immortals is a game that took so much inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but took none of the things that made Breath of the Wild great. They're like, what if we took the cartoony style and the big green open world and what if we took the puzzles and all this stuff? But they missed out on the openness and the experimentation that you have at your disposal, and the
natural exploration.
The natural exploration. They took this game that blew up what open world games could be, right? And really translated that to something that resonated on a different level. They took that and went, cool, now let's make this as structured as possible. Let's make this a Ubisoft ass open world, which I understand because it's Ubisoft. That's what they're gonna do. But I was so bummed out as I was playing Immortals and realized that this is the exact type of open world game that I don't like. That said, I do want Ubisoft to have the freedom to experiment more with new IPs and try things out. And so that said, also seemed like it didn't work based on how much lower the sales were compared to
this is your classic niche title, right? That it found an audience that fucking adored it, but the overwhelming majority of people did not like it or give it the time of day. And like it isn't the right. It didn't blow their hair back. They weren't like, this is something you have to play kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me personally, this was a huge bummer because you know how much I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's my favorite Assassin's Creed. So when Ubisoft Quebec announces they're doing this, I was like, yeah, and I did preview of it and I liked it a lot. But getting it into your point of where it was like, oh, I don't love this mythology angle on it, and I don't really, the story isn't super locking me in. So it was just playing it, and the gameplay was good, but I didn't feel that need to keep playing it. I didn't feel the need to keep going and chasing all the stuff in the open world. Where again, I know that was what Kevin loved to do and was all about it. So there is an audience for it. But it is that idea that I don't think it needed a sequel. I don't think everything needs a sequel, even though it does have an audience. But then we get into this conversation, to your point of calling out this, pivot towards its most prominent brands. That is the reality of a company as big as Ubisoft, as big as EA, as big as PlayStation, right? That if they're going to take a swing, that is such a high mark they have to hit for that to be counted as a success, right? Mm-hmm. We have a show called PS I Love You XOXO every week where we talk about PlayStation very in-depthly and drive through their studios and all this stuff. And it's what we've been talking about with PlayStation VR 2, right? Of how many units does that need to sell to actually be a success to PlayStation, to actually be something they need to double down on and continue to make stuff for, especially first party wise, right? It's a similar thing here of what is the success to Ubisoft is far and away different than what a success to Supergiant is in terms of what they're making. And that, I mean, you can go to even smaller developers, right? And get into the weeds of what it's going to be. I think that's where independent games matter so much, or smaller AA games matter so much, that for Ubisoft to take a shot in this, awesome, cool, great. But if people aren't going to show up for it, if the mainstream, if the masses aren't going to like it, then what's the point in doing it? They're not going to do it.
Yeah. And I think on one hand, I totally understand that. And on the other hand, I do think that it is like, I understand why indie games are the ones that have to be the most innovative and different and fresh.
Yeah.
But man, as a big AAA studio, as big corporations, you have the budget to be fresh. You have the budget to do wild swings and have these brand new ideas. And I would love to see more AAA studios be able to try that, because now as I read this and as we look back at what we've talked about with Ubisoft in the last year or so, and them pivoting toward their most profitable brands in the future, at least in the near future, right? All I expect from Ubisoft is Tom Clancy, Assassin's Creed, Star Wars, Just Dance.
Now, what I would turn and argue with, not argue, I guess, but what I would turn and counter with, right, is that I think whether you like it or hate it or whatever, right, there's a great move here in the way that, like, the spirit of Immortals Fenyx Rising and doing something different and making a different thing doesn't have to die. And I would hope that's what Ubisoft's thinking internally of, like, cool, what they're doing with Prince of Persia, right, where there's the remake happening, but then there's that 2D one they're making it put out, right? Like, what would have, hey, yo, let's pump the brakes on Immortals Fenyx Rising. How can we make it Assassin's Creed Fenyx Rising? And not have it be, I'm an assassin, or I've been introduced to the Brotherhood, and now I need to chop off my finger and go kill this guy and go get all this RPG points, blah, blah. Like, what if you just took the IP and applied it to this game? Which for some people might go, but if you're just in it for the gameplay, maybe that would have been what turned me. If it was like, oh, it's in the Assassin's Creed world, I don't need as much story. I don't need to, whatever I'm doing, whatever. This is, I'm somebody who's lost from Eivor's team, or I got kicked into Valhalla, which I honestly way prefer to the DLCs that do, like, Cassandra goes to hell. In the Valhalla, I'm fucking on Mount Olympus all the time. Or whatever. I'm like, I don't need this. I'd rather just be grounded for the RPG. I'm playing.
I am somebody who when you say that, I go yuck. But that's also, I'm not an Assassin's Creed person, and I realize Assassin's Creed.
You also said yuck to this,
and I also said yuck to Immortals Fenyx Rising.
Fucking go outside and play softball.
When you say Assassin's Creed Immortals Fenyx Rising, I'm like, oh, get that far away from me. But also, I think there's the thing of oversaturation of an IP and things getting stale, right? And so if everything is an Assassin's Creed, at one point do we go, hey, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I don't want to play Assassin's Creed anymore. Yeah. Because that happened.
That has happened.
Yeah.
That happened.
I mean, that happens with Assassin's Creed. And so there's definitely a balance to it. I think new IPs keep things fresh, and new IPs keep things from getting stale. To your point, though, like Prince of Persia 2D game exists, and on one hand, that's Prince of Persia, an IP that's been around for decades. But on the other hand, it is a fresh, new looking, really cool looking Prince of Persia game. So I think some of that energy still is there. I just hope that Ubisoft gets that balance right of not resting solely on their laurels in the for the near future, and going for these, all right, our pillars, Star Wars, Assassin's Creed, Just Dance, and like leaning into only those things that make that they know are these proven entities. Because I do think the more you do that, then we get a decade down the road, and now we need new ideas, because what you're doing has gotten stale. People don't want Assassin's Creed anymore because you put out 1 billion in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Barrett, hit my music.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to your favorite reoccurring bit on Kinda Funny Games Daily, Greg's not sound financial advice, where I run you through the stock market based on my expertise. Thank you, Barrett. Many of you remember when we were talking about Ubisoft a while back and they were not doing well. I said, just like I predicted you should have bought the GameStop stock, you should buy some Ubisoft stock. And then Kevin said, Greg, it won't be a conflict of interest if you just put $100 in, and that's it. And I said, all right, so we'll do this as a little, it's like kind of like when you're in class and like you put one little seed in the thing and you leave it on this windowsill of the teachers, and like you check in on it every day. How's it going? What's going on?
Yeah, it's not like you're growing a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not making
You're not making a garden here. You're not harvesting it.
I'm not out here rivaling the farmer's market, all right? I'm growing 1 carrot. Everybody calm the fuck down, all right? It's a thing here. Of course, there's been many check-ins with my not sound financial advice. If you remember, I bought Ubisoft stock for $5.33. All right, that was my buy price. Then a few weeks ago, because I forgot all about the tree in the windowsill, I came back and checked, and it was below that. I was like $5.10. I screamed, I'm ruined. Let me tell you, if you would have listened to my financial advice, ladies and gentlemen,
Which is not
you
real
would be
financial
on
advice.
the upward trend. Right now, Ubisoft stock, $6.52.
Oh.
All right? And again, that's with them just farting out rumors and reports. They're going to publish a game eventually. When Outlaws comes out, what do you think's going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think's going to happen to that stock, ladies and gentlemen? When I get $200, I'm withdrawing it. We're buying a pizza.
Oh, let's go. What kind of, are we getting square pie, guys? Or are we thinking deep dish? Because we don't get deep dish around here enough. I'll say it.
You want like Pachis? You want like Chicago
Yeah,
style?
yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
There's like a blue line pizza.
No, I mean, we will go get Pachis.
I mean, I'm down
I haven't
for
had
Pachis.
Pachis in years.
Oh, dude, I'm totally down.
All right, cool.
Cool. Ubisoft, do your thing.
Everybody keep me posted. We'll see when that happens, all right?
Also, somebody in chat said your bit's over now, right?
Yeah, it's done. We're done.
Cool. Yeah,
the money's down.
Somebody in chat said, "Oh, but Pokemon's been putting out the same game for years, and we went tired." Have you not been around for Pokemon reviews? Because Pokemon
Or sales numbers.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I think our thumbnail was like, boring. I think our thumbnail literally said the word boring in it. The year before that was Sword and Shield, which also, like, my whole review was that I was like, oh, Pokemon's not changed in a decade? Damn, that's crazy.
My hair's got no volume today. You know? Just
I
flat.
like it.
You like it like this?
Actually, no, when you turned, I can see what you're talking about. But I mean, I still think it's fine.
Oh, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
It's just not doing what I want it to do. I'm also thinking about moving to collar shirts.
Really?
Start my collar shirt era up.
Was
here.
this inspired by my outfit yesterday?
No, I've been thinking about it's been inspired by you just looking good. I feel like, 4 out of 5 shows I compliment how good you're looking or whatever. But then when we went to SGF, I wore collar shirts for the entire thing there, and I was like, damn, these look good on me. Maybe I'll start doing that on camera instead of just being a schlub.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the tough thing is being inspired in the morning to put on a really nice shirt. Like yesterday, I did it because I wasn't on KFGD, and so I could come in like maybe 30 minutes later, and that gave me enough time to go, you know what? Let me put on a good shirt today.
Yeah.
As opposed to throwing on a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Number 3 on the Roper Report, Sea of Stars, available launch day on PlayStation Plus. We're reading from the PlayStation blog. Sea of Stars will be available as a PlayStation Plus game catalog title on launch day. We're extremely excited to confirm that Sea of Stars will be joining the PlayStation Plus game catalog, available for all extra and premium members on launch day, August 29th. You can get a taste of Sea of Stars' traversal system in the demo, now available on both PS4 and PS5. The demo features areas that will be part of the final game, but we made sure to pick a slice that did not reveal any major spoilers from the main story. It is designed to give a hint of context, but mostly showcases some gameplay systems and mechanics around dungeon crawling and combat. It aims to provide a sense of the tone and vibe without giving any major points of the journey. Giving away any major points of the journey. Blessing. Of course, this is coming from Sabotage, the folks who made The Messenger. It has been one of those indies you hear so much about. People preview, can't wait for it, flip out about when they see it. I saw this in the Games Daily Slack today. I was like, delay. No, good news. It's actually happening. What's your hype level for this turn-based RPG?
I think this game is going to be incredible. I am looking forward to it, but it's also that tough thing of, I look at Blessing Super Fun Game release calendar.
August 29th.
This game comes out August 29th, the same day as Goodbye Volcano High, few days after Armored Core 6, in the same month as other games such as Baldur's Gate 3, Stray Gods.
And I mean, in spitting distance, a stone's throw from Starfield.
Oh, yeah. Like, by then, I'm probably going to have the Starfield review
Starfield
copy.
by then, Phil.
Can you imagine we don't?
Yo, you guys get 3 days with it. Enjoy.
God. But yeah, like, I worry so much about this game's space to breathe.
Yeah.
Because I do think that it looks like a special game. Of course, like you said, they made The Messenger. The Messenger was a game that really resonated with people. And this is their Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing. That's the coolest step you can make after putting out The Messenger, which was this game that I think proved that they could harken back to classic 8-bit, 16-bit games and actually really nail it, right? Because Messenger was going after that, old school Ninja Gaiden slash Metroidvania type stuff there too. They did that so well that I expect them to be able to nail a Chrono Trigger type JRPG pretty well.
And they've been working on it for a while.
And they've been working on it forever. When you look at the art style of it, it looks really good. When you see who's composing it, it's like, damn, all right, cool. Like, this is going to be incredible. This game has the stuff. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm scared that I might not be able to actually get to it. Yeah. But for the people that do, I can't wait to hear you talk all about it.
Number 4 on the Roper Report, DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing game has been announced. This is Michael McWhorter over at Polygon. DreamWorks Animation All-Stars Shrek Puss in Boots, Boss Baby, Hiccup, and a whole bunch of trolls are getting the Mario Kart treatment for a new game, DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. The crossover kart racer will span 2 decades of DreamWorks' cinematic catalog, borrowing characters from the Shrek and How to Train Your Dragons films, as well as Megamind and The Bad Guys. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing looks to spice up the kart racing genre with a few twists. Magical switches on race courses can be struck to uncover hidden shortcuts, and DreamWorks Animation's trolls will ride along with racers and are equipped with power-ups and special surprises, according to publisher Game Mill Entertainment. The extended Shrek family is strongly represented in DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. The Ogre, of course, is there. His ogre wife, Fiona, Donkey, and Puss in Boots are all playable characters.
Let's go.
The other confirmed racers
I'm a big donkey guy.
apparently, Po, Tigress, and Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda, Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon, Megamind, and Mr. Wolf from The Bad Guys. Game Mill promises 20 fan favorite characters from a variety of tracks based on locations from DreamWorks movies. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing is heading to Nintendo Switch, all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, Windows PC, and it will cost $39.99. The game features 8-player online races and 4-player local split-screen co-op.
I was not hit up about using my rights in this game.
Boss Baby.
DreamWorks.
This is a direct violation of what you and Alec Baldwin signed.
Yep.
The Boss Baby
Well,
Accords.
I don't know if I want to be associated with whatever Alec Baldwin's been signing.
You're the one who
but-
signed the agreement with him, and there's photos of you shaking hands and smoking cigars. I don't know what we do about it.
Same.
Remember when he called his daughter a pig?
He did?
Imagine? Yeah. Oh, you never saw.
No, I didn't see this.
Oh man, she leaked the voicemail where he left a voicemail. He's like, "You are a disgusting pig."
Oh my god, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
From 30 Rock?
He's not a good guy.
Oh
turns
no,
out.
he's not a good guy.
He also murdered
Alec
someone. Remember
Baldwin's
when he
not
shot
a good
someone
guy.
on the set?
I do. Listen, I like as you're reading through the story, I had to restrain so hard from making an Alec
what
Baldwin
does it
joke.
mean in my head that I jumped to the "you are a disgusting pig" thing before? Oh yeah, and he shot somebody. Now, granted, it was an accident. It was on set, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the fault of multiple people coming to a head.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gun's gonna be an item that you pick up.
You are disgusting.
Yeah. Whereas that's just purely him. Yeah.
Number 5 on the Roper Report.
Wait,
is
before
more
we,
celebrity news.
before we get there, my question is, what is the ratio of revenue you think they get back from putting out these games? Because Game Mill is known for making these types of games, usually with Nickelodeon.
They do the Nickelodeon ones?
They do
Okay.
all the Nickelodeon ones too, and they keep making them, which means that good money must be being made here. Do you think they're making back twice their budget, 3 times their budget? Like, what? How much money? How many copies are they selling?
Enough. Like it's got to be a. If you're saying they're doing, I know they did. They've done multiple Nickelodeon games.
Yeah.
So you figure
I
they
can
go
double check.
into anybody with an IP catalog and are just like, "Yo,
Yeah.
let's do this, and we're gonna put it out at a budget price, and you'll get X amount of things." And it's I'm sure they're not trying to like.
There's got to be enough of an audience that like, even if it's just the Switch audience, where it's like, oh, Mario Kart's still $60, but this is $40, and then you have the other consoles where kids want to play Mario Kart, but it's like, fuck, we don't have Mario Kart, we have a different console,
Yeah, they did Nick Kart Racers 3 and 2
Yeah.
and 1. They did the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Nerf Legends was the name as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember Nerf Legends? That was not good. They also did NHRA Speed for all and Cruisin' Blast. Cruisin' Blast
People
was
like that
fucking
one a lot.
great. Yeah, Cruisin' Blast was excellent. So that surprised me a little bit. But yeah, they have a weird catalog of, a lot of licensed stuff. I just want to know the details of the dollars and cents being made.
So the voicemail I'm talking about from Alec Baldwin is 16 years old.
Mhm.
He left it for his then 11-year-old daughter.
11?
15 years ago, a voicemail message that the Rust actor left for his then 11-year-old daughter was leaked and published by TMZ. In it, he screamed and yelled, calling the child a, quote, rude, thoughtless little pig for not answering his call at the designated time that was set. The call was all over the press amid the rocky era of vicious celebrity journalism. That doesn't have any,
Rude, thoughtless little pig.
right? Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
Don't be like Alec Baldwin, everybody.
Don't do that. No, that's mean. And also, don't shoot people accidentally on set.
You know what? Let's wash out the taste of Alec Baldwin from our mouth and instead drink some John Legend.
Oh, I love drinking John
Number
Legend.
5, John Legend is the new brand ambassador for Neopets.
Let's
I'm the
go.
new brand ambassador for Neopets. You know the game. It's a classic pet game, and it's long been a favorite in our house. and I can't wait to share the joy and nostalgia with all of you. So stay tuned. We'll have some amazing adventures together.
We're gonna get an update on this later in the week of like it's been confirmed that Neopets kidnapped John Legend.
Neopets tweeted that and said, "Welcome to Neopia, John Legend. We're looking forward to a legendary time together."
I love everything about this. Shout out John Legend. You want to talk about wholesome?
You want to talk about something? He came home and he's probably like, "Oh, I got this, and I'm not going to do it." And Chrissy Teigen was like, "Neopets?
Yeah,
you're doing this.
1000%.
You're doing this right now."
I was gonna say the way this happened is somebody in their household was either John or more likely Chrissy Teigen got the email and they're like, "Hey, we're bringing back Neopets. Do you want to be a brand ambassador?" And somebody was like, "You're doing this because this is fucking awesome.
We want
do
all
you
the
know
free
Neopets
stuff we can get."
Back in 2004, Neopets was all the rage. We got to do this. Good on you, John Legend. Hopefully this doesn't lose you money. I assume you're not gonna. Actually, I assume that's impossible for John Legend.
I don't think it's going to lose. I don't think he invested in this deal, the brand ambassador.
I just imagine he owns 50% of Neopets now.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. I am of course excited to see what John Legend has up his brand ambassador sleeve, but his journeys and adventures with Neopets are still so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop shops, where would I go?
We're just ordinary people. You would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as we're just ordinary people. Listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah.
I love John Legend so much.
Do you love John Lennon?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Legend, not Lennon.
Legend.
Legend.
You don't like John Lennon? Got a problem with John
I
Lennon?
don't have any beef with John Lennon. I just don't love him as much as Legends.
Out today. Mr. Run and Jump is on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, Switch, and PC. Remnant 2 is on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and of course PC. The Banished Vault is on PC. Whispers in the
John Lennon was a bad guy, right?
No.
No? Who am I thinking of?
Well, John Lennon wasn't a great guy.
I'm seeing chat. People in chat are saying good things about John Lennon. Wait, bring me up to speed on John Lennon. I don't know my history of John Lennon.
Well, he's one
I
of the
think you're
Beatles.
thinking of the Russian Lennon.
No, Chad is saying fuck John Lennon from the Beatles. John Lennon, who is actually like a notorious kind of a piece of shit.
Okay, that's
We
okay.
cancel
See,
John
that's what
Lennon, too?
I was thinking.
I don't know if like beating your wife is like I don't know if that's like
'Cause when I
we're
said-
trying to cancel a dead dude. That's just like something that happened. That
When
he
I
did.
said I don't have
Yo, I've been talking shit about the Beatles my entire career. If you're telling me we're flipping on John Lennon, when somebody's like, the Beatles are great, I can be like, yo, but John Lennon sucked.
because that was my thing. When I said I don't have beef with John Lennon, as I said that, I was like, I feel like John Lennon did some shit.
yeah,
And yeah, people in chat are saying he did some shit. See, now Greg's learning.
I'm on his Wikipedia page.
Scroll down to content.
I'm looking for the controversies. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, there's this, there's that. No, legacy. Okay.
Listen, all I'll say,
Control.
John Legend wouldn't hurt a fly.
Brr.
Legend wouldn't hurt a fly.
Okay, so I'll put in abuse. No abuse on this page either. Okay.
Somebody needs to update that Wikipedia.
What? Okay. What else could I? So controversy and abuse aren't on there. What else can I search on this page to find bad things about John Lennon?
I mean,
To
I'm just gonna
bolster my
Google-
claim the Beatles were overrated.
divorce because it was about his ex-wife.
I mean, I typed in
Yoko.
John Legend controversy. The first thing that came up was an article that says 5 reasons why John Lennon was a bad person.
Okay, what do you got for me? Read them to me.
Let's see. He was violent towards women. Number 1. He was a neglectful and abusive father. I need some like sources though. Like I need some references because I want to know exactly what he did.
You want to go dig through the police reports and find
Yeah.
out? You keep doing that. I'll keep doing this. Crimson Tactics, The Rise of the White Banner is on early access on PC. New dates. Shotgun King, The Final Checkmate is coming to Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation August 24th. And then Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm is coming to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC on August 2nd. Deal of the day. The Dark Pictures, House of Ashes, PlayStation 4 is only $8.49 on Amazon.com. That's a good one.
House of Ashes, that was the best one. Was that the one?
No, that's the one you didn't like.
House
right?
of Ashes.
Dark Pictures, House of Ashes.
Was House of Ashes.
That's the one I like the most. With you're in Iraq.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's my favorite one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the one after that was the one I didn't like.
Yeah. I remember that. I thought you had a discrepancy. I thought
Yeah.
maybe a little hope was in there, but it doesn't matter. And again, like you didn't understand. Me and Poe played that next one, and you didn't understand it was based on a real thing with the guy who killed everybody at the World's
Okay, but
Fair.
like that wasn't my issue with it. My issue with it was all the bugs.
That's fair enough. That is very true. That's very, very true. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask people watching live. This is going to be a nightmare. Watching live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames to go to kindafunny.com/wrong. Tell us what we screwed up as we screwed it up. Let's go through. Then we got him. Nanobiologist says, just to be clear, the charges against Alec Baldwin surrounding the fatal shooting on Russ sets were dropped. Thank you. Oh my God.
Listen, the court of law is different from the court of public opinion. We should know this by now.
Misdeal of the day from Nano. World of Warcraft is raising money for Ukraine with a new pet pack. All proceeds go to Ukraine support with WoW and WoW Classic, getting each a special pet with purchase. And then John Lennon Hater 69 says John Lennon threw a glass in a restaurant and hit a waitress.
All right, that's good enough for me. Shady dude. That's good enough for me.
What model? Remember when a model threw a phone at somebody and hit him too? That was a big deal.
Oh, really? No, I missed this. Was that on the runway? Did she
no,
zero in on
it's
somebody in the
like an
audience?
airplane.
Bah! Right.
Model throws phone. Let's just get it.
looking stuff up.
We got to get everybody, all right? We got to figure out. We got to make
This is a video game news show.
It was Naomi. It was the model Naomi.
Everybody.
Like, welcome to the 10
New York Times from 2007. Naomi pleads guilty to tossing phone and maid.
Wait, who was that?
Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell apologized yesterday for hitting her maid in the head with a cell phone, but said it was an accident. Before making her apology in Manhattan criminal court, Miss Campbell, 36, pleaded guilty to reckless assault, a misdemeanor, putting an end to 9 months in which she seemed to attract as much attention for being a defendant as being a supermodel.
I conflated Campbell with Kyle.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine? IGN.com's Naomi Kyle.
I was like, wait. We should be more shocked at this if it's Naomi Kyle. Oh, man. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny. This is what we do on Kinda Funny Games Daily. Tomorrow, your host will be Blessing me. Thursday will be Blessing Tim. Friday will be Tim and Blessing. If you are watching live, of course, we're going to do the post show where we talk to the super chat and hang out and have a great time. After that, the streaming Jabroni boys are going to be playing Remnant 2. Remember, Kinda Funny Games Daily comes to you each and every weekday with the nerdy news you need to know about. If you like it, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can toss us a few bucks, get each and every episode ad-free, get to watch the podcast ad-free and live as we record them, get them ad-free on demand, get more than 300 exclusive episodes of content we've put up since October, and of course, maybe get some sweet merch, get your name read on the show. There are no boundaries to what you can do on patreon.com/kindafunny. It's like x.com, but real, and a real thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a post show to do, but until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Can you sit yet, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Can Mike sit yet is the big question. Oh, yeah, he says.
The New York Times. Naomi pleads guilty to tossing phone at maid.
There's no boundaries.
This is the hard-hitting journalism we get here at Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to your post-show super chat segment. Of course, if you're watching live on youtube.com/kindafunny, you can super chat and be a part of the show right now with Mike, who is just hurting bad here.
You're killing it, Greg. I
Do
don't
we
even
need
have to come out of
Do
here.
we got to take it urgent care?
No, I told
I almost
Roger,
did.
save
I was
your money.
willing to drive you to the hospital.
Nah,
You look like you
rub
needed
some
it.
dirt on it. You'll be fine. You know.
I don't know if that's how that
what
works.
the kids say.
We're in 2023. We
Let's
have modern medicine.
celebrate a cool one. Sterling Matthew Oliver writes in because he's a member now for 4 months over on YouTube and says, "My first ever video game as a voice actor released today. After getting laid off, it's been a great up to go with the down. So happy
Congratulations.
to be a Kind of Funny best friend. Doesn't say the game.
I was gonna say I was waiting for the
but
name of the
say,
game.
hey, big
Well, if he just got
congratulations.
cast, right, like he's probably unannounced.
My first ever video game as a voice actor released today.
Really?
God
Released today.
fucking damn
It's
it.
out today.
Wait, hold on.
I
Let's
tried to have your back.
Let's look at the out todays.
Sterling.
Show him the out today.
Do you think he's in Mr. Run and Jump?
Okay.
Or do
I
you
think he's probably in Remnant.
you think he's in Remnant too?
Yeah, but that already technically released last week too. You think he would have celebrated that?
What about the Banished Vault? Do you think he's in the Banished Vault or Whispers in the West?
I'm gonna go with Whispers in the West.
Do you think he's whispering the whole time
Yeah.
in the booth? That's good.
what's happening?
Which one was it? Because I got the answer.
I'm gonna go with Whispers in the West. Blessing, what are you going with?
I'm going with Crimson Tactics: The Rise of the White Banner.
That's early
According
access.
to this, on IMDb.com,
Yep.
Sterling Matthew Oliver
Yep.
is in Spearhead 1944.
Oh, that's not only out today.
That didn't come out today.
I don't think that's.
Spearhead 19.
According to this, it would be the Arma 3 creator DLC,
Oh, love
Spearhead 1944.
Well, we don't cover DLC.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know
that
the
doesn't count.
Spearhead. I just knew Arma.
Get out of here. Get out of chat. Behave
Hey, that's
yourself.
pretty dope.
That's super
pretty great.
dope.
Good for him, man.
Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
wonderful. Bless, when are you going to get on the track for a video game?
Maybe I already am.
Yeah,
Actually,
he
I think
is.
I
No,
am.
you-
Yeah, in the VR game.
yeah,
Bar.
Listen, I don't want to know about the past. I want to know about the future.
This is a bartending game in space in VR.
Yeah, okay.
Star Tenders.
What about the now?
I got
What are you
something in
working
works.
on? You working on deals?
I got something in the works.
Okay.
Okay, I
Greg
can
over
talk
here,
about
he's
it.
going to talk about when he was that crab that one time. It's like, show me what you're doing now, Greg.
Yeah, show me what you got.
I have bad news for you, Blessing.
Oh no! Is John? What did John Legend
No,
do?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Your VR game is not on your IMDb page. So someone should update that.
Do I have an IMDb?
You do have an
page?
IMDb page, yeah.
Really?
I have an IMDb page, but
Wait, really?
yeah.
Since when?
I'm pro, so I think I can go in maybe
Since,
and
like,
tweak some of your stuff.
2017, whenever I helped with
Wow,
segments
I
for
do
like,
have
the
an-
IGN Disney show.
Look at you guys.
Whoa. Do I have anything on there? Is
On a website I've never been to.
What?
I can
should.
confidently say I've never just sat there and typed in IMDb.
Really? Just so, like you're not interested in like an actor's like when you
Zero.
see someone and you're like, oh shit, I know that guy.
Oh, because of the Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth stuff.
Look at you.
And kind of funny.
Remember
Kind of
that?
funny's on there.
Yeah, but it's not updated. It says that I've been on 3
It's not
episodes of PS Love You.
updated. It's not updated.
Okay.
Whereas Friends Per Second got me
been on
for
a lot.
every single episode.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Friends per second? Look at him treating you
Yeah.
good. How many episodes?
3 different episodes of Friends Per
Yeah.
Second.
Okay,
Stuff
so
to
the
my
exact
IMDb.
same to PS I Love You.
Yeah. We got it up by PS Love You.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Survive Block Island is on there, which is a TV series. The reality show I was on with Rooster Teeth.
Uh-huh.
I didn't talk about that enough. I was on a reality show on Rooster Teeth.
When
Block
I was
Island.
at the Rooster Teeth Expo, people were talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, people were very
That's what
proud of
almost
you.
killed the business.
Dang.
Yeah, they really liked what you did.
Really? They liked me for the one episode?
They did. They,
Spoilers.
I will
didn't
tell
last
you,
that
when
long.
we were in the Kinda Funny meet and greet, there was a Kinda Funny best friend. She was like, hey, I wish Blessing did so good. I wish she was in more than one episode.
Aw.
So you
Dang.
got a lot
Well,
of
hopefully
love
they
for
have
that
me back. Have like an all-star season. Now, do I count as an all-star? Even though I've only been on
Absolutely
one
not.
episode?
You
Probably
get
not.
voted off, you're
you
not.
made an impact.
But have an
Russ.
all-star episode and just sneak me on.
CJ writes in and says, doesn't Indy stand a chance to make your top 5 game of the year?
Indie?
Does an
Does an
indie.
indie
Oh.
title make your top 5? Because we've talked about this many of times. It's a big year for video games. You look at your top 5, you look at your top 10. Is an indie breaking through to your top 5?
Mike, give it to me.
Indie.
Aw, come on,
You
come
knew
on.
it.
He doesn't have the
Everybody wants
strength.
indie. I don't got it.
Liza P isn't indie.
Liza P's an indie.
Well, this
Okay.
is where it gets weird,
No, I don't think it's
right?
not indie.
Where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so when we say indie, of course, everybody wants it to be a 2 people in their garage,
Yeah, of course.
8-bit game. Like, are we counting Remedy as an indie? Because then, sure, Alan Wake 2 has a chance to be in there. Alan Wake's got a lot of money behind him. Remedy's got a lot of money
No,
behind
they sold their soul to Crossfire X. They're not an indie.
Who's publishing Alan Wake 2?
They're not an
Epic,
indie.
I think, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publisher.
Plucky Squire.
Star
If that
Tenders
counts.
Intergalactic Bartending.
Yes.
Do you remember your character's name? Because I'm adding it to your page here.
Oh, wow.
man.
Look at him.
Let me
He's
see.
so nice.
Bartenders.
I'll take the indie question. Of course, you have a lot of great indie games right now. Sticky Business is really, really good. Barrett, I highly encourage everyone to go check that game out.
Dave
the
the
Diver is
Yeah.
absolutely fire. Dave the Diver might make my top 5. It's definitely going to be in the second half. I do think that Only Up should be in everyone's conversation for what that was and how good that game is.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if that is in my top 10. I don't know
Top
if it'll
5.
make a top 5, maybe, but like, think about how good that game is. Think about what it did to the culture of video games, the moment it had. Like, that was hot fire and continues to be hot
The
fire.
culture of video games.
I'm telling
Don't
you.
get me wrong, it had an impact.
Hey,
People talked about it.
It's like Fortnite type vibe where it's like everybody and their mother was playing Only Up.
Oh,
Not many indie games do that.
I thought you were talking Dave the Diver. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We're still
Dave the
talking about
Diver's fire. Yeah, we're talking about Only Up. Those would be mine. Plucky Squire will be a good pull out there.
Ooh, yeah. That does look really
That's a
good.
good pull.
What's the date on that?
Dredge,
Do we have a date on
We
that?
don't have a date on
Yeah,
that.
Dredge was very good. I know Chris Enka played a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
that.
a lot of people love Dredge.
But yeah, I don't know. Top 5 is going to be a tough
Planet-
one to crack.
Planet
Blessing,
of
what's
Lana.
his character's goddamn name?
I know. I'm
That's
trying
a
to find
good
it. I can't
one,
find-
Bear. Planet of Lana was very good.
Yeah.
I
I think I have the name,
like
but I'm trying
Planet
to figure
of
out if it was like a not the real name. You know.
Oh,
You think they gave you like sides for this, where they were like, don't give them the official name. We don't want them leaking the Star Tender's story.
I mean, hey, the world was anticipating Star Tenders, and so yeah, I'll DM it to you because I believe this is the real name.
Bless, did you ever?
Wait, why won't you just tell me?
So
I'm gonna try to publish it on the
is
internet in 2 seconds.
Aquasian is what I have.
Okay.
AQUASIAN. You're asking me about indie games? Or what are you asking me?
No, we're asking you about your name in this video game right now.
Okay, I just gave it to Greg.
But also, did you ever finish Planet of Lana?
No, I got
should.
I played the first
game.
30 minutes or so.
Oh, it's so good.
4-hour
I'm
experience,
telling you,
beat it
like,
in the night.
because I remember you reviewed Somerville, right?
Yeah,
like
I like
it is,
Somerville.
It is.
Oh.
I feel like what we were missing out of Somerville.
Cocoon.
Cocoon.
I think Cocoon has a good
Waiting
chance.
on it. Yeah.
Really good chance.
Greg, do you have any indie games you want to shout out? Because you usually are the indie jabroni here.
Not that I think are going to crack my top 5 necessarily.
Okay.
I think again, it's such a crazy big year that I haven't. I'm trying to think. Like I can never pronounce it because I'm done reviewing it. But Dorgon, right? I like that one a lot. But that wouldn't be in my top 5 by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
Let me look back through my trophies here. I'm excited for Venba, but I don't think it'll be necessarily top of the list. I liked Oxenfree too, but I don't think that'll be a top 5er.
You know, Viewfinder really fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a lot of.
It was going to be that game.
Viewfinder looked really great, and then it got here. I was like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like blowing you away.
It never got to the height of like, I don't know, the initial promise it had from like the demos and stuff.
Similar to Chia.
Chia.
Yeah, I think
this year.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Oh, it was this year.
No,
That's
you're
wild.
lying to me, Greg.
I'm dead serious, man.
Yeah, the thing that goes against Viewfinder, I think, is just the heights of that genre.
Again,
are so
before
high.
your eyes, but like that's been out. It's a PlayStation VR2 game,
yeah.
but I don't know. It's gonna be in my top 10, I'd imagine, probably, but I don't think it'll be a top 5.
Yeah, when you have Portal and The Witness and like other puzzle games that are fucking doing what those games are doing.
Numbers.
Yeah, Viewfinder, it's tough to like get it in that place.
Okay.
It's still good. It's still good. When I look at my top 4 right now, I have written down Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6, Hi-Fi Rush, and Final Fantasy 16. And it's tough to think another game is going to, or like an indie game that's announced so far this year is going to penetrate it. It'll have to be a surprise.
Okay.
Maybe I play Hades 2 early access. I don't know.
CJ writes in and said, or Daniel M writes in and says, "What's blue and isn't heavy?"
My mood.
Light blue.
Damn.
That's good.
That's good.
Bob writes in and says, "Greg, I'm staying home from work because I have strep throat, and I started watching The Bear because of you mentioning it.
Thank you.
I like it a lot, and I love it. Have you finished it yet?"
No, we got through the 7 Fishes episode, and life took over some other way, and then Diablo season dropped, and then we went and did something, and yada yada. We'll get back to it.
I got
Love
to
it.
the Will Poulter episode, and he's
Good
so
episode?
hot. He's so hot.
He's so hot.
Yeah, Mike, you got to check it. You got to check out the Will Poulter episode just because he's hot, man.
So hot.
You know what happened to me?
Lay it on me.
Sitting at the desk yesterday.
Okay.
Looked at the calendar for the week. Glanced ahead to Thursday. Saw it's a MCU in review. Secret Invasion.
Oh.
You know, they were doing Barbie. You guys had already gone home. I was out there by myself. I
Yeah.
literally exclaimed, "Fuck!" Because I've only watched one episode of Secret Invasion, and I was like, "Shit."
And are
I
you
got
on that?
yeah.
Oh, you
So
got
last
a
night
lot.
I sat there and I played my DC mobile game and watched 4, I guess, because I have
Okay.
1 left and there's another one on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, really? Because I've told the story. I really loved that comic book saga, right? Like that story I really, really liked. I don't think it has the juice to television show like the comic book did.
You know, Nick Fury's doing a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson, I'm enjoying him. I enjoyed Don Cheadle, so I'm having fun with that. There's a few little twists. I like Ben Mendelsohn. So I like the actors and what they're doing a lot. There's enough things going on. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's interesting.
Say Chalet writes in and says, "Took me 8 hours to get Luther from DC Heroes Villains."
Yeah.
What's up with that? This match 3?
Yeah, it's great.
The card game?
Having a great time
What's
with it.
up with it? Tell me about this.
So, of course,
School me, I don't know
I mean,
about
there's a 20-minute preview up right now on patreon.com/kindafunny.
Oh.
That's a Greg way. But yeah, DC Heroes and Villains dropped last week. It's basically Puzzle Quest, but DC Heroes. So you're going through, you match the gems to attack the thing. There's a story mode, obviously. There's a bunch of different challenges where you can try the heroes you don't have yet. The idea is, though, go through and you play the story, but you're equipping gear like you did in Puzzle Quest as well. So then you have to level that gear up and then tier up, and you're leveling up, and there's a whole leveling system to it, right? The thing to what he's talking about, though, is, or they're talking about, is that as you play, you get different capsule coins that you then go and spend to open up the capsule to get the new heroes or new villains or whatever. And so there's RNG to it of like, okay, who am I going to get? What am I going to get?
Can you just buy them?
No, you can't just buy them. Yeah, they don't want that. There's no, I guess that would technically be pay to win, right? Because yeah, you'd be jumping in and like, I want to buy Superman. He's one of the best cards kind of thing.
Yes,
Or
exactly.
characters, right? No, you can't do that.
Okay.
But I'm having a great time with it.
Really?
I unlocked Superman and then I got maybe the next draw I got Luthor as well. So I'm pretty happy with my squad.
Okay.
I can show you. I had Vandal Savage early. So I was building the team around him.
I don't know who that is.
He looks like Neil Druckmann. Every hero or villain
They
has
got Green Arrow?
not that I've seen
They
yet.
got Static Shock?
Not that I've seen yet.
not really.
I mean, they're leaving room for expansions here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I can't have everybody. There's no Supergirl. There's no Superboy. There's no Colonel. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of stuff I want to get in there.
Okay.
But yeah, so like you got the whole roster here.
Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to build a 5-star team, but I only have for 5-star people. I have Superman, Luthor, and Vandal Savage. Then you get your Batmans and
Then we get
Poison
to the
Ivys
4
or
stars.
whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe I'll play around right now. You know
Dragon
what?
mobile games.
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna get my token so I can play more today.
Up next.
Ooh, got a mail.
Nestor, not Nestor. Nestor, not Nestor. It gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
If Greg was a video game, would Ben be considered a sequel or spin-off?
I mean, I think he'd be DLC, right? Because like,
Oh.
he's still very much a part of my journey right
That's
now.
good.
You know what I
That's
mean?
good.
Like,
Yeah.
Ben can't go off and do his own thing. He can't work without me. So he's very much DLC.
Currently.
Eventually, he'd graduate. Yeah, he'd graduate to being his own thing. But that'd be
He's
like,
eventually going to become a standalone.
then he'd be cross-gen. You know?
Yeah, he could be his own standalone like Rugrats, the video game, where he just crawls around your house.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, that does.
It'd
work.
be like, Greg, stick with me here because I know you liked, or you played enough of Valhalla, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where Bossum is
like
the
fucking
character.
60 or 70 hours of Valhalla.
Yeah.
Maybe 80.
And Bossum got like some DLC stuff in Valhalla, but now he's getting his
Now
own
he's getting
game.
his own thing. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be good. You gonna wear that T-shirt? The collector's edition, Feel the Pain T-shirt with all the haptic feedback on it. Did you see this?
Yes.
We talked
Sorry.
about it on the
Collector's.
episode.
It's not a collector's edition thing though. It's his own deal.
Yeah, but like you got to spend a lot of money. That's a collector.
If they send it to me, yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
If they'd say like you got to buy this thing,
You got to go skin to skin on it.
I'm down. I'll go skin to skin with you right now. You know what I mean?
Skin on it right
Scoot
now.
up on the chair, take off your shirt, I'll take off my shirt, I'll sit behind you like we're on a motorcycle. It'll be fine.
I'm pretty excited because today's stream we're gonna be playing Remnant 2.
Oh.
Very excited about this one. Of
That's-
course, we enjoyed Remnant from the Ashes.
That's
We're excited
awesome.
for
I
this
got a free
Lay it on.
basic capsule. Let's see who I draw.
one. Okay, basic capsule drawing.
Tapped open. It's gonna be
somebody we'd never heard of.
No, well, it might be just be goons. Yeah. No, it's gonna be somebody good. It's another Batman, which is great because now I get the Batman token that I go use to upgrade his passive.
Okay.
It's fun time.
Will it become a 5-star?
No. He's Batman's a 4-star, of course, because Superman's better. DC heroes and villains told you.
There it is. Kind of funny, best friends. We'll be kicking it over to the lab in just a couple of moments as we play Remnant 2 with the Jabroni Boys. Of course, thank you to the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts for taking us on a journey through today's show. You guys really explored some topics of discussion.
What,
And,
like what?
You know, the chat got really
Mike's
in there
out of
with
it.
you, doing a lot of investigative journalism. Really proud of
Go take
everybody.
a nap, Mike.
We're just going out there and we're just exposing bad people, which I'm really
out.
proud of y'all for.
Mike
We're
hit the
gonna-
button that said default
We're gonna
transition.
open a premium capsule.
Y'all
right now.
really, y'all really went through some
We're gonna open
topics
this
of
premium
conversation.
capsule, all right? I'm tapping this one. Now, what's
yeah,
the exciting about this is this will be my 20th premium capsule, so then I
premium.
get a chest open. It's just Cheshire again. But again, I get a little thing, so I can do that. Now we open the capsule, though. What I got
yeah,
there?
we're gonna open
I
it.
got 200 more tokens and 150 gems.
And they don't want your money.
Oh, no, they want your money.
Oh, okay, cool.
They'd love it if you bought more gems or you bought the battle
there we
pass
go.
or all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. But it's not like you pay to win. You know what I mean?
Yes. We're going to be kicking over to the lab right now. So, of course, kind of
Do you want me to come play this
thank
over
you.
there? Do you want me to come
Come
jack
show
it
Nick.
in?
I think he's going to be really interested in it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all back here for Remnant from the Ashes, too. If you watch on YouTube, brand new link. If you watch on Twitch, hang out, kick it with us. And until then, we'll see you back here tomorrow for more KFGD.